Hello YouTube, it's gopernoper, and today I have my 11th camera haul. We're going to be taking a look at the cameras I purchased over the past month or so, and I'm going to start off the video by explaining what this is for. There's a camera under this box. The reason I have it under a box is because I want that to be a bit of a surprise for the end of the video. Now, I also want to let you know that I am not doing this to show off. I have received a couple of comments, which have since been deleted, that, oh, you should stop bragging about your gear. I just want to clarify, I'm not doing this to brag about my gear. I'm doing this to show you guys what camera shopping is sort of like, the prices I'm getting, the cameras I'm getting, and how my collection is expanding. This is my way of keeping you updated without lengthy videos on individual cameras. I'm just giving you the prices so you have something to compare it to. But, ending that, let's get started with our camera haul. As tradition dictates, we'll start with the digital cameras. First up, Sony MBC FD85. This I got for free because my school, they decided that it was time to update their technology, so they withdrew this camera. This was their one digital camera that they had. They now have about 12 different ones because the other ones were so outdated. They phased out a long time ago. They were disposed of long before my time. But this one I got for free because they were going to withdraw. It came with a charger, case, and battery, so I'm all set there. But yeah, I saved a camera, and I got a nice addition to my collection. This one here is a digital Mavica MVC FD7. I picked this one up at a flea market for a princely sum of $3, which is really not that bad. This was their second model of camera, and this was their much fancier one, because it has 10 times optical zoom and an f1.8 Sony lens, which is actually pretty outstanding for this time period. Manual focusing, that's right, it has manual focus. You can choose to switch between manual and autofocus, which is really cool. Both of these two cameras take floppy disks. I have a lot of floppy disks. I picked up a brand new package at Goodwill and some others at estate sales, so I'm all set there. I also have a USB adapter for floppies. Moving on, I have a bit of an announcement that goes with this one. This was my 100th camera. This is the Yashica TL Electro X. 35mm SLR camera. This uses a Copal electronically controlled shutter, so the speeds are all at 1/1000th of a second. And this came with a Vivitar 35mm f2.8 wide-angle lens. It takes M42 screw mount, so I've got plenty of lenses to use with it. Neat little camera in great shape. Next, I picked up this Chinon Prime lens. This is a 50mm f1.7 M42 screw mount lens in really fantastic condition. I also forgot to mention that the Yashica TL Electro X there was $22 at an antique mall. This lens I picked up for $5 at a camera shop. Alright, next up, back here, I purchased these two cameras, this one and this one, on the same antiquing trip. This one came with the case, and it is an Argus C44 35mm rangefinder camera. Obviously, it came with the case, and I got this one for $10 at an antique mall. Originally, the seller wanted $22, but this camera had been sitting in that same antique mall for more than a year. So I brought it up to the front desk, I talked with the manager, I asked him, would you come down on this? Because it's been sitting in this antique shop for more than a year, nobody's bought it yet, and he said, I'm sure he'd do that much. Take it for 10. So, it came with the 50mm Syntagon kit lens at f2.8, and the camera's in pretty good condition. The rangefinder's calibrated. There's nothing wrong with it when I bought it. The shutter's working fine on all speeds. Now, I've heard a lot of people complain about the lens mount on this camera. It's not the greatest design ever, but it's survivable. I actually find it kind of easy to interchange the lenses. It does really take some getting used to, though. Look up the Camera Quest article on the C44, and you'll see what I mean about people complaining. There's really no end to it. But it's a neat little camera. For $10, that's not bad at all, even if it only came with one lens. Here's the other camera I picked up on that antiquing trip. Yes, this is a Kodak Retina 2. This is the Type 013 model in excellent working condition. Cosmetically, it's fine, but it's not great. But that's not really what I care about. I care about the operation. I've already put a roll of film through this camera, and I'm just stunned by this Ektar lens. Now, the reason the shutter release up here isn't working is because you have to have film in the camera to fire the shutter. You have to trick the camera into thinking there's film in it by advancing the sprockets. And normally I fire the shutter release from the outside like that when I don't have film in it. But yeah, it's another Kodak Retina. I plan to do a video review of this camera. I don't know when that's going to be posted, but I'd like to do that sometime in the near future, because this is a really cool camera with a really great lens on it. Moving on, right here. This is a Spectator Flash 120 film box camera made by the Kodak Corporation. Oh, I also forgot to mention the Kodak, right there, the Kodak Retina 2. That was $23 at an antique mall, so I got a pretty good deal on that one. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to mention prices. So I'll do that first and foremost with this one. This camera cost me $0. This was my grandmother's camera when she was about 12 years old. She got this as a premium for sending in candy bar wrappers. I'll admit it's not in the greatest condition, but it's very much usable. The shutter is quite reliable. I've never seen it misfire. And it uses a Ramar lens. There's no specified focal length, but the nicest thing is that it takes normal 120 size film. So I don't have to worry about respooling 620. And a cool note, came with the flash holder. This one's a bit bent out of shape. She told me she dropped the flash holder when she was walking down the street. So this one has a bit of family history to it, and it holds a lot of sentimental value for me because my grandmother used to show me this when I was very young. It's not what got me into collecting, but it really does mean something to me. This camera and case right here, I picked up at the same flea market I got that camera, except this one was slightly more expensive. It was $4. Came with a leather case, or at least not leather, fuzzy brown case. This is a Kodak XL-33 movie camera. This is a Super 8 camera, and it loads through the back like this. This is kind of a weird one. You probably really can't see much because it's sort of dark in here for the viewfinder, but comes with a removable lens hood. I know that's normally supposed to stay on there, but it is removable. Movie light slot. It's got a couple of bits and bobs around here. A battery checker. This is the window to read what the film says. Run and lock, and daylight and indoors with the light. But this is a neat little camera. It takes 4 AA size batteries, and it's working just fine. So for $4, it's not that bad. It's a neat little camera. I'm very happy to have it in my collection, especially to rescue it from that flea market. I'd rather have it sitting in my collection than rotting in a basement somewhere. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the two holy grails of this camera haul. The first is CiroFlex 35mm TLR. This camera is one that I have been dreaming about for the longest time. I wanted a CiroFlex. I found this one today, the recording date. This is November 12th, 2016. I found this at an antique mall just today. $35 was the price tag. But this seller was having a 20% off sale today. So, I got this camera for around $27. I'm very happy with this thing. Now, I do have a bit of a confession to make in relation to this camera. When I bought it, it was not working. When I purchased the camera, the Alphax shutter in the camera would not fire due to sticking shutter blades because of grease buildup over time. I brought this home and I decided to repair it. I did this today, not too long ago. First I disassembled the top cap and cleaned out the inside of the viewfinder screen, so now you can actually see through it. The ground glass may need replacement, but it is definitely suitable for use. I disassembled the shutter down to its aperture blades, cleaned every component inside, and reassembled it. And now, it's working fine. On all speeds. The only issue with the camera is that time does not work. It functions as bulb. However, I do have a cable release that fits the threaded socket on the bottom, and I can use that. This is, I believe, the Model B Ciro Flex. And I will just demonstrate that the camera is, in fact, working. I'll slow it down a bit. It's fully operational on all speeds, uses 120 medium format film. So now I have an American brother to my Rolleicord. I know this video is running a little long, but I did want to explain quite a few things with this video. I'm gonna have to set that aside, I just noticed something. Okay. So now, moving on. Moment you guys have all been waiting for. What's in the box? This is a genuine Zeiss Ikon Contax 2 from the 1930s. It's all original. It is fully operational. I cannot show you the inside or the operation of the shutter right now, due to the fact that it is currently loaded with 35mm film. The frame counter, as of right now, I set it weirdly, because I wasn't completely sure how it worked. So as of right now, I'm keeping track mentally of how many shots I have used. I'm on my 13th exposure right now. This came with the Carl Zeiss Sonar f2 kit lens, 50mm or 5cm as marked on the lens barrel. It's an extendable and retractable lens. Hold on, I just have to find it. You see, there. It's locked into place. So, this camera, I purchased it from a camera shop for $5. That's right, you heard me right. This was $5. I paid $5 for a working Contax 2. Now, I know there are going to be a bunch of you out there who are saying, well, that's not true. He couldn't have gotten a Contax for $5. It is. The camera store thought that the camera was broken at the time because someone locked the shutter release down. The shutter release lock was engaged, and they couldn't get the camera to wind or fire. So I asked them. They had it on display. It was being used only for display purposes. I asked them, what kind of Contax is that? They brought it down. I looked at it for a while, and I asked them, would you sell it to me? And they told me, sure, $5. I've never pulled money out of my pocket so fast. I brought it home. I fiddled with it for a little while. I realized the shutter button was locked down and tested it. It is fully operational. However, it is a bit sluggish on the slow speeds. Yeah, that's right. I bought a working Contax 2 for $5. I know that sounds super braggy, but anyways, thank you guys for watching so much. I plan to have reviews out on the CiroFlex, Kodak Retina 2, and possibly the Spectator Flash. I'm not sure on that one yet. I have to think about it for a little while. Simply because I have a lot going on right now, and I'm going to have to find time to fit all that in. I know this camera haul was a bit longer than some of the others, but I just wanted to make sure I was able to get everything in. So I will be sure to do videos on the CiroFlex and the Kodak Retina 2. So, thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Side note, I will not be doing a review on the Contax 2 simply because I would like to put this one roll of film through it, and I'm not going to use it again. Why? Because I would like to send this camera off to Zeiss Camera, and I want to have this thing completely overhauled before I use it again. Simply because I want to preserve the camera as best as possible. I know it's going to take a while to get the kind of money I need to send it out, but I'm going to save up and have him appraise it. So, that's it for this camera haul. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.